My sister thought she could bankrupt my wedding, but she didn't know I track money for a living. The banquet hall shimmered with crystal glasses and eager faces, everyone poised for the bride's speech, expecting heartfelt vows and teary gratitude. They didn't know I was about to deliver a financial reckoning. My gaze locked on my sister, Natalie, her polished grin a mask of innocence. I gripped the microphone, its weight grounding me, and let the room's chatter fade. "Natalie," I said, my voice steady as steel, "you've always been the family's shining star. But stars can hide dark secrets." The crowd leaned in, oblivious that this wasn't a toast, it was an exposé. 12 hours earlier, my world had fractured. The night before my wedding, I'd driven to Natalie's house to drop off a keepsake for my parents, who were staying there. The house was quiet, my keys still worked, and I stepped inside, expecting warmth. Instead, I heard hushed voices from the den. Natalie's confident drawl, my father's hesitant murmur, my mother's sharp agreement. I froze, clutching the gift. Natalie's words cut through. "The final payment to the venue's due at 9 a.m. When it fails, she'll look like a fool. Ethan's family will see she's a mess and walk away." My father's voice wavered. "Is this necessary?" But my mother snapped. "It's for her own good. She's not ready for this marriage. The money's safe in your account, Natalie." The words hit like a blade. This wasn't sibling rivalry, it was sabotage, a calculated strike to humiliate me, orchestrated by my own family. Every slight, every time I was overshadowed by Natalie's charm, crystallized into truth. I was the problem they wanted to fix. I slipped out, the gift forgotten on the driveway, my heart pounding with betrayal. To understand the devastation, you need to know my dual lives. To my family, I was Sarah Miller, the reserved daughter with the dull job, always outshone by Natalie, the family's golden girl. But in my other life, I was a senior financial investigator for an international fraud unit, my work dismantling criminal empires through meticulous data trails. I'd kept these worlds apart, thinking it protected me. I was wrong. It let their lies fester. A year before, my parents had thrown a lavish party for Natalie's promotion to brand strategist. My father toasted her business brilliance, while I sat, forcing a smile. They never celebrated my victories, like the time I led a case that froze assets funding illegal arms deals. When I shared it, my father laughed it off. Sarah and her numbers. Natalie dubbed me Data Doll, a nickname that stung like a slap. My scholarship to an elite university? Lucky break, they said. Natalie's reckless spending sprees? Learning experiences. Their love was a finite resource, and Natalie claimed it all. My real world was different, a high-security lab where I traced illicit funds through global networks. My team and I spoke in codes of risk and evidence, not small-town gossip. I'd cracked a case by spotting a hidden transfer in a maze of offshore accounts, earning a rare nod from my boss, Director Patel. "You've crippled a syndicate," she said, her words more validation than my family's ever offered. I wasn't Data Doll there, I was a force. Back in my hotel room, tears gave way to focus. I opened my encrypted laptop, my wedding gown a silent witness. Using basic tools, I traced the venue payments path, diverted to Natalie's account. Then, a deeper dive revealed worse. For 3 years, she'd siphoned funds from our parents' savings. This wasn't just about my wedding, it was theft, systemic and cold. I called Ethan, my fiancé, laying out the facts. His voice was iron. "The wedding's on. I'll cover the venue. You handle them." His transfer secured the day. My evidence would secure justice. At the reception, the room glowed with elegance. My family sat smug, expecting my ruin. Natalie's maid of honor speech dripped, with fake tears, painting us as inseparable sisters. The crowd ate it up. Then it was my turn. I stepped to the podium, plugged in a USB, and the screen shifted from love story photos to a stark diagram. "A marriage thrives on trust," I said, clicking to a chart. Miller Wedding Fund to Natalie Miller account, $60,000 with timestamps. Gasps rippled through the room. Natalie froze, her glass trembling. I was meant to be shamed today, I said, eyes on my parents. But my dull job is catching thieves. The next slide showed 3 years of transfers from their retirement fund to Natalie's account. My father's face crumpled. My mother's turned ashen. The room was a vacuum of silence. You backed the wrong daughter, I said, clicking the screen blank. I raised my glass to Ethan and walked away, his hand in mine, leaving their world in ruins. A year later, in a Berlin office overlooking a rainy skyline, I'm Director Sarah Voss, leading a global fraud task force. My old life is gone, new name, new number, new family in Ethan and his parents, who embraced me without question. My phone buzzed once, a message from my father. We're suing Natalie. I failed you. Please forgive me. I felt nothing, no anger, no triumph, just distance. I archived it and returned to my team, my true family, where my skills aren't a joke, but a shield. They thought I was careless with money. I showed them I know its true cost, my integrity, never for sale.